Hey guys, it's your boy Joe back at it. CodingPhase.com. Your boy's back and I done did it again one more time. Yeah, we're live. Hopefully you guys get the notifications and y'all can hang out with me a little bit. You know, today is Labor Day, so you know what time it is, okay? Labor Day 2020 is the promo code. You could go to CodingPhase.com and get whatever you want from CodingPhase.com, from monthly subscription, yearly subscription, lifetime subscription, to even the yearly plus, right? Every course, everything 55% off. Okay, so we just start with that. All right. But yeah, man, I just wanted to hang out with you guys, see what you guys is doing for today. What's your plan for this Labor Day? I'm still debating if I want to go to the beach or I just want to chill here in the pool with the family. I still don't know, man. But yeah, man, let's talk about it. I've been trying to do a lot of things with CodingPhase, knocking out a couple of different things in there, like the new site that we're about to launch, hopefully this week. Hopefully I can get it done by tonight. You know me, I like to work in the nighttime, so I'll probably be up maybe till 3, 4 in the morning knocking this out. I'm trying to get it done by Wednesday, so I'm just gonna work hard to try to get you guys in there, and give you guys a nice, pleasant welcome when you go to CodingPhase.com. Okay. Shout out to everybody in here. We got Jabari. We got your boy Cod SCX. We got Juan Lopez. We got Jonas 28. We got a couple of people in here. So shout out to you guys that always get the notifications. Lucky you, right? There's somebody right now is punching the air. They're like, yo, YouTube never notifies me. What's going on? Da-da-da. How come Juan Lopez always gets the notification? How come Cam Perry always get the notification? What's going on? YouTube is effed up. You know how YouTube is. But it is what it is, guys. Let me see. Shout out to Nitesh. Shout out to Cam, of course. Shout out to Jonah28. Yeah, man. Jonah's like, yo, I don't get a notification 70% of the time. Yep. I mean, that's how it is. We got what? We got like 65,000 plus. I think we're about to get to 67,000 subscribers right now. And out of those subscribers, maybe 500 of you guys get a notification. The majority of you guys are not gonna get notified, and that's life. That's why you gotta go at least once a day. You know that I try to do my live streams around 12, 1 o'clock, so you should always check up on the channel. Just go to youtube.com/codingphase and check in there. I usually be live at this time, so yeah, you could always go and check it yourself. Never leave it to YouTube to come in and be nice to you and be like, well, they're going to be nice to you today. They're going to notify you. It's like, nah, bro. They're not notifying your ass. Okay? Let me see. Tanya Jeffries. What up, Tanya? I just happened to be on here. I'm subscribing to a bunch of channels that are useless. Yeah, man. And you should. That's what I usually do. Sometimes, we use subscriptions as a way to like bookmark channels, because you maybe watch one video and you really enjoyed it, but then you never see their videos again. That's one. And number two, sometimes you realize you're like, this person's not for me. I clean up. Y'all know me. I've been doing this shit for a long time. I do spring cleaning on my YouTube subscriptions at least once a month. I'm like cleaning that shit up. I'm like, okay, let me see what they got. Oh no, they ain't saying shit, and it don't bring no value to me in my life. Like when I come to YouTube, I don't come to YouTube for, to just entertainment. Like if I go to YouTube, it's for to learn from somebody or to like see what's going on in the world as far as like the news or things like that. Like if it's not gonna bring value to me, I'm not gonna sit down and watch anybody. That's just the truth. You get what I'm saying? Every time you come here to this channel, we try to provide value and give you guys some new points and some new gems that you guys can look forward to. And at least, when you come in here, you're gonna get some gems. Yeah, we're gonna crack some jokes. Yeah, you might see me say codingphase.com, new sale, da da da, right? But you know I'm dropping gems regardless, right? That's just for the new people that haven't been here. Okay, I have to promote the company because you know we work hard on it. So whoever's new, we want to let them know. Okay, but besides that, we always dropping gems in here. Okay, you know I was just dropping a little quick tweet on Twitter just right now, a few seconds ago, a few minutes ago, probably by now. But it was like, yo, if you're spending 75% of your time searching for the best practices, guys, you're wasting your time. You know why? Because what you need to do is just start building. You know, when you're a beginner, you're a junior developer, right? You get into the zone of, man, am I doing it right? Is how it's supposed to look like? Is this the best framework? Is this the best language? Is this the the thing that I need to be focusing on? How should I build my application? Should I use this way? Should I use this other way? You get what I'm saying? And a lot of time we spend so much time looking for the best practices and what's the best way of doing things. And one thing that I learned over time is that shit does not matter, right? That's what I always tell you guys. Like, well, I make fun of, like, you know, the people that be in here that be like, man, what's faster, a for loop or a while loop? It's not really that I'm trying to make fun of those people. It's just like, that's a state of mind, right? Like, does it matter which one you use? No, because if you just want to loop over, let's say, an array, right? You could do that shit with a freaking dot map. You could do it with a for loop. You could do it with a while loop. You could do it with a for each. There's so many different ways. For in. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's so many different ways that you can do the same shit. And in reality, if you stop what you're doing, or you don't even start what you're trying to build because you're looking for the best way and the best practices, you just wasted time, bro. And time, believe it or not, is just like how people have said before to you. Time is money, right? Time is something that nobody's ever going to give you back. It's like when you come here to this YouTube channel, if I wasn't giving you something that you feel like is valuable, if you feel like you're not learning anything, don't come to this channel. I'm being just honest. Like, if you feel like Joe's not giving me something that I feel is valuable, don't come to this channel. Because in reality, if I'm talking to you and what I'm giving you is not valuable to you, don't come here, right? Same thing as any other YouTube channel, right? Same thing as anything that you're doing out there on your own. Like, if it's not bringing value to you, don't freaking waste your time, man. Time is money, and time is something that's even more valuable than money. Like, it's more valuable than anything because you can't rewind time. Nobody can give you an extra amount of time. Like, if tomorrow you got cancer and they tell you got 6 months to live, like, straight up, all that time that you wasted and shit that was bullshit, nobody could come in and be like, well, let me get that refund for that time. So instead of me lasting 6 months, I could last, a year. There's no way that nobody could give you a refund for that. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing for when you're building applications. Like, if you're wasting your time in trying to figure out what's the best way of doing things, right? You're literally wasting your time and your money and your life into that. You just need to start building and just put it out there. I look at guys like Levels.io, right? I follow that guy for a long time. I could say he's like my mentor. I mean, even though I don't know him personally, but I would say he's like my mentor. It's like the same thing like some of you guys that say, damn, Joe, you're my mentor. You never met me a day in your life. You get what I'm saying? Like, you don't know me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a dude in the front of the camera, right? But to me, that guy with his blog is like my mentor. Like, I literally follow what he does because it does make sense, right? I come back and I teach you guys about shit that I've learned from him. Like, he goes out there and gets shits done. When people was into, let's say, Angular or even like React and React Native and all these things, this guy was building applications with vanilla JavaScript, right? jQuery, right? And people will be like, man, are you still using jQuery? I seen somebody the other day, he posted a tweet where he said something about, I'm something about doing an Ajax request to the server or something like that. And somebody commented below him and it's like, like you still call it Ajax? What year you're in, guy? And it's like, I'm like thinking in my head, I'm like, bro, so what do they call it now? API requests? What do they call it now? Async this, async that? It doesn't matter, right? What people are calling it, right? This guy gets shit done, right? If he was to go crazy and be like, well, I'm not gonna use XHR, right? I'm not gonna use Ajax, right? I'm gonna stop what I'm doing. I'm gonna go and learn how to use Fetch and the Fetch API, and I'm gonna go and use whatever, let's say Axios or whatever new library that's out there. Like that dude doesn't waste time with a lot of the shit that's out here. Because, you know, and I'm not saying the Axios and the Fetch API is not good, right? Because I do use them and I see the value in them. But what was interesting is that when people were talking about these libraries at that time, he wasn't even paying no mind to it. He was just creating, you know, building ideas, getting startups up, you know, getting his web applications up. And you know what happened? All of the people that were like, man, you know, this is the best practices. You should be building applications like this. Hey, you don't even use a freaking backend framework. I remember somebody else was talking shit to him, like, yo, oh, you don't use Laravel? Because he uses PHP for most of his applications. And like, yo, you don't use PHP? You don't use PHP Laravel? And he's like, nah, I basically build everything by hand. And people was like, oh my God, you should be using the framework. You should be using... And you know where they at right now? They still in that bullshit job that they was in, right? You know where Levels is at? Very far. You know what I'm saying? Very far. You know, he making like 800K a year now, just from his applications. You know, 800K is a lot. You know, it's a lot. I'm telling you guys, it's a lot. And to get to that level, you don't focus on, you know, I'm gonna do the best practices. It's like, nah, bro, build shit. Just build it. You know, it's like the guys that created Twitter. When Twitter came out, the easiest way for them to create an application super quick and get this idea out of their mind and just create it to the world was Ruby on Rails, right? Ruby on Rails was popular, and at the same time, it was something that, it was a tool to create applications super quick. When they reached the point of, you know, they have like, you know, 1 million freaking users at the same time, they realize, you know, maybe they need to upgrade from Ruby on Rails to something like Scala, you know, dealing with maybe Java, maybe some Golang, some Node.js later on. But imagine if they would have stayed at home and said, you know what, man, we don't know if this thing is gonna scale to 1 million people. Let's just waste time and actually just waste our time here trying to learn a new language, a new framework, a new thing, and then release Twitter. By that time, the Twitter wave or the Twitter opportunity would have been gone. It would have been out of here. You know, hope you guys understand what I'm trying to give you guys right now, right? You know, so right now you're probably thinking, man, do I know enough of JavaScript? Do I know enough of PHP or whatever language you know, right? If you're comfortable with a language, right, or whatever it is that you're doing, stop focusing on what's the latest thing that just came out. What's the newest thing that just came out? The guys that are actually moving freaking masses and making waves out here, they don't focus on that shit. I'm telling you guys ahead of time, they don't focus on that shit. Best practices get thrown out the window. Straight up, best practices get thrown out the window for those guys. And those guys make shit happen. You could go ahead and create best practices. You could always upgrade your servers. You could always upgrade the language. You could always scale up later on. But time and timing is super crucial to whatever idea you might have. So you might think of something right now, But because you wasted time looking for what's the best practices and what's the best way of doing things, some other dude comes up with the same idea and he didn't waste time on that. He just built it. Now he's the first one. You get what I'm saying? It's like, I'll give you guys a perfect example if this makes sense to you guys. Okay, let me know if this makes sense, right? When you say, I want to call a cab, what do you say? I want you guys, this is an interactive live stream, right? If you're new to the channel, this is an interactive live stream. I want you guys to leave the comments here, leave the on the freaking live chat room, okay? This is interactive, right? So this is not just me talking shit to you guys. This is me talking with you guys. So, okay, so let's get into it. When you want to call a cab, what do you say? Can somebody put it up? I'm not saying nothing else until somebody else put up some names. Okay? Dark Knight said it. When I want to call a cab, what do I say? I want to call an Uber. Okay? Nobody says I want to call a Lyft. Let me call a Lyft. Let me call the Mexicana, the local taxi spot. Nah, nobody calls nothing, bro. They say, let me call a Uber. And you know why? Because Uber was the first one, right? Now, if the people at Uber were to decide, you know what, man, we don't even know. We're going to have to scale this. We want to scale this to, millions and millions and maybe a billion users. Let's just focus on that and waste time. You know what would have happened? Lyft would have came out. And people wouldn't be saying, let me call a Uber. They would say, let me call a Lyft. Okay? Firmbase like, yo, I say I call a Lyft. I don't know about you, bro. I don't know where you heard. I never heard nobody ever say, call me a Lyft. Lyft is like the alternative shit when you're like, yo, you already been banned from Uber, and you're like, yo, I've been banned from Uber, bro. Like, if you ever been banned from Uber, like I got banned from Uber one time because I tried to scheme it. In the beginning they try to give you like a free ride. You try Uber for a free ride, and then what I was doing was I was getting, I have like a whole bunch of credit cards, right? So then I would go and sign up with a new account, right? Putting a new credit card that I had, and then I would get the free ride. And somehow they caught up on it. They're like, wait, hold on. There's a lot of Joe Santos Garcia with this shit coming from New York City. I got banned for a whole year on Uber. They're like, yo, we can't be having you abusing it. And I have money in my pocket, but it's just, you know how people is, right? Even if you got bread, you still trying to get something for free. That's like when people come to my website and they be trying to scheme it. Somebody asked me, Joe, why don't you put a free trial on CodingPhase.com? I'm like, I'm not putting no free trial. I know how people is. I know how I am. You know what people would do? People will go in and create new emails every single week. There's dudes that don't care. Shameless. You know what I mean? Shameless, right? So again, going back to the main topic, if you waste time on trying to find like the best practices and the best way to scale at 1 million users or 10 million users at a time, etc., you're wasting your time. Straight up. You're just wasting your time because number one, you don't even know if the idea is gonna even get that big. Okay? So now you wasted 3 months, 6 months trying to make this thing to scale to 1 million users and more, and you're like, now you realize nobody gives a fuck. That's something I learned from Levels. He goes in there, creates an idea, puts it out there. If it sticks, it sticks, right? If people want it, he'll keep it and he continue working on it. If people don't want it, he drop it quick. Now, the only way you're going to be able to do that is by just launching it and releasing it to the world. You will get feedback from the users if they really want something. And then you go in there and you say, okay, now let's focus on scaling this. Let's focus on making sure that this thing is optimized, etc. But if you're still like, before you even get an idea out, you're trying to scale it, it's like, how do you even know if that's gonna work? Just create it. Okay? By the way, guys, again, like I said, today's Labor Day. For those of you guys that haven't signed up to CodingPhase.com, go check out the website, CodingPhase.com. Basically, the coupon code is LABORDAY2020. Okay? Labor Day 2020. You put in that coupon code, whatever course you want, you could go in there, or even bundle. You could go in there, boom, go in, add it to the checkout, or just click enroll. And then right there, there's going to be a coupon code. You put in the promo code, which is Labor Day 2020. Okay, get 55% off. That's higher than most of the times that we usually do any type of coupon. So that's really a really good savings. Okay, right now I believe the yearly plus is like 178. So that's amazing. Okay, you do the math on that. Okay. Let's see. Life of Perry. Life of Perry. This is me with Netflix. Dudes be having like 34 email accounts, throwaway accounts. They'd be like, Life of Perry 1 to 34. So he has one, Life of Perry 1, Life of Perry 2, Life of Perry 3, Life of Perry 4, Life of Perry all the way to 34. I got 34 accounts. Give me that free trial, okay? You know what I mean? You won't see me spend a dime in there. You know what I mean? And that's normal. That's human nature. That's why sometimes I don't even be mad. There was one time, like, and not even one time, a lot of times, people come into codingphase.com, right? And they'll sign up through the trial. So there's like a $1 trial where you get like 3 days of Coding Phase. And then there was this dude, man. This is hilarious, right? There was this dude who signed up through the trial, right? Because on the trial, you have to put in your credit card. So he went in, put the trial, right? Put it in multiple places, right? He said, cool, I'm going to sign up once. Then in 3 days, I'm going to sign up again. In another 3 days, I'm going to sign up again. In another 3 days, I'm going to sign up again, right? He did it like 4 times, right? To try to get shit for free. Now, what he didn't understand, because sometimes people, they don't even know how to do schemes properly. Like, if you're trying to scheme it, don't be stupid. You get what I'm saying? Because now, if you look at the refund policy on Coding Phase, like, we have policies for that, specifically. And it's like, yo, if you sign up multiple times with the trial, right, you're not going to get a refund beyond the first month. Now, this schemer, right, I'm not going to call him an idiot, but idiot, the schemer came in, signed up 3-4 times with the trial, right, canceled one of them, and then the other ones, he just left it there. He forgot that he did that scheme, right? So he went in, boom, free 3 days, boom, another free 3 days, and then from there, came in, signed up again on the third one. So he canceled the third one, right? This is how stupid some people, you can't scheme the schemers. You get what I'm saying? You can't. Came in, signed up 3 times to get that free trial. So that's like 9 days. And then on the last one, he called up. He's like, yo, can I, I didn't like it. I want to cancel it, and can I get a refund? After he already did the courses that he wanted to do, right? So then what he forgot to do was he also needed to cancel all his other accounts that he signed up again. Now, when he came back, and he's like, hey, man, I got charged, 2-4 times, back to back. What happened? And I'm like, I pointed him out, gave him the screenshots. You signed up on this day. You signed up on this day. You schemed it on this day. And this is what happened. And you don't get a refund past the first month. Okay? Past the first month, past the 7th day, you're not supposed to get a refund because this is a digital product. And I know how some of you guys try to scheme it. So I gave him the proof. He did a chargeback. The chargeback, I sent the chargeback, the info to the freaking company, to his credit card company. They came back and they were like, yeah, you was right. It's all part of the policy. You get what I'm saying? Don't try to scheme it. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm a good dude, but you got to understand, it's like, don't try to scheme it. Now you lost out on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's stupid. Like, why would you sign up multiple times through a trial with different email accounts? Yeah, to then scheme it and, do some crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know why people are like that, right? But it is what it is. You can't do shit like that, man. And it's like when people come in and be like, oh, they forgot which account they had and which, I'm like, bro, we know that scheme, man. I've been doing this for 3 years. Everybody has tried every single scheme in the world. Or like, hey man, I forgot to, I took the courses, but after a while, I forgot that, that I had that multiple. I had two accounts. I had the trial one, and I had my regular yearly plus, and this and that. And I'm like, bro, like, come on, man, we know what you're doing. Like, you came in, you took the yearly plus, you took the courses that you wanted to take, and then from there you're trying to cancel. Come on, man, don't do that shit. You know what I mean? Like, like I'm not a huge company. You know what I'm saying? It's like a mom and pop shop. You don't go to a mom and pop shop and eat their food, and then you walk away and be like, after you ate the whole thing, I didn't like it. Nah, if you didn't, as soon as you tasted it, you didn't like it. Cool, leave. Don't eat the whole food and then after you're full, you're like, man, I don't think this was for me. It's like, come on, bro. If it's something that's not for you, you don't finish the whole course. Savages, you know what I mean? But people is like that. That's why some people, they always ask me, Joe, why you don't got a free trial? I would love to try out your website. I'm like, bro, it's nothing personal. It's literally people are schemers, okay? And I've done all of those things, and I have gotten burnt at the end of the day. I'm a good guy, but at the same time, if all this shit takes so much work to do, how can I keep getting? It's like a freaking dude that goes through a street. You know what I mean? Goes through a street every single day. He gets beat up, right? If he goes through that street again, that's because he likes it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like it. I don't like it when people abuse it. So now we make sure we don't go through that street. Yeah. Let me see. I'm reading. Shout out to everybody in here, man. Let me see. Reading. Joe, where we can sell Shopify themes. So you could go to Theme Forest. There's a whole bunch of different websites that you can sell your themes. So there's Theme Forest. There's I believe Monster Templates. There's another one. I don't know the names from the top of my head. The biggest one is Envado's themeforest.net. But there's a whole bunch of companies out there that you could put it out there. And like, if you go and create a theme for like some of the smaller companies, they'll do the advertisement for you. You know, that's something that I'm gonna get into and do like a video for you guys. Because there's a lot of small companies that will, once you start making themes and you release it, you put it out there, smaller companies is gonna reach out to you and tell you, hey man, hey, we just created, I don't know, xyztemplates.com, right? So it's a brand new company, but they want you to upload your themes in there, right? Now you can go ahead and upload your themes, and I will recommend that you upload your themes in there, because those small companies, they'll promote your themes for you. Okay, I've seen times where they'll promote themes even on Google AdSense. So like, let's say for example, most of these companies will charge you 30% of whatever you make. Right? So 30%, if you make $10, they make $3 out of your thing. So a lot of times they'll take your themes and they'll see that, oh shit, your themes is popular. Right? It's the same thing that Udemy does, right? With courses. Right? Again, once you understand how to make money online, all of this, every company uses the same strategies, right? You ever seen when you go to udemy.com, you go to the website, you check out course, and you're like, I don't know if I'm gonna buy this, and then you go to another website, and then you see the advertisement there from Udemy that's promoting that course. Now, with themes, there's a lot of small companies that do the same thing. So like, let's say for example, they'll have retargeting ads to your courses. So not courses, sorry, your own themes. So when you create your theme and you upload it with them, because they don't have thousands and thousands of themes, and your theme has been a semi-popular on their website, they'll go out of their way to promote it in other platforms, in YouTube and Google, and different forums. Like, they'll put it out there for you. So that's like free sales. You don't have to pay for the advertisement. You don't have to pay for nothing. It's like, people buying your product. Now, at the same time, because they're buying your product, you could get access to their emails account. So let's say, for example, you might be selling a theme for $80 on Theme Forest. Now, you might be selling it on xyz.com for $40 or $30. Now, you might say, why should I sell it for $30? Well, because you want to get that first initial initial buy from that user to buy your theme. And then from there, once you have their email, you can send them emails of the new products that you might have, like a new theme, a new application that you might have. Okay. And again, that's how you get somebody to continue to buy from you, right? Sometimes you got to take the hit. Sometimes you might say, I would love to earn $80 on every sale. Okay, I would love to earn $80 on every sale, but then again, you want to get that initial buy so they can see your product and see the quality of your product. So then later on, you could basically sell them something else that is maybe at a higher tier, because now they know that you have something that's legit. Again, this is the same strategies that everybody uses. When you're selling products online, this is how shit works. Okay, once you learn how to do this, you can literally do this with every single product. It's the same thing that I do here on CodingPhase.com. Somebody might say, Joe, why you got monthly subscription of programming courses, right? Very simple. The monthly subscription has all the programming courses. Okay, with that, you can get a job. But the biggest value in CodingPhase.com, and the thing that's the most important, is not really the programming courses. What's really important is like the career bundles. Okay, because programming, you can learn it anywhere. Anybody can teach you 2 plus 2. You know what I'm saying? The only difference is that with me, I'm gonna teach it to you, and then you're gonna get all of the courses that you might ever want to need or might ever want, right? For the same price that somebody else is selling to you individually per course. I'll sell you $20, you get all the programming courses. Cool. Now, why do I do that? Is because it's an initial sale. It's an initial introduction to all of the courses that we have. And then from there, once you realize the value that we have in there, the most important thing is not really the programming courses, because once you learn how to code, you learn how to code. But how do you make money with it? How do you get a job with it? What are the things that you need to focus on, right? That's the things that nobody else provides for you, right? That's the biggest difference between what we do at CodingPhase.com and what Codecademy, Lynda.com, LinkedIn, Pluralsight, Team Treehouse. None of those companies focus on what happens after you learn how to code. What? That's it. You taught me how to create a page and a little functions and add a couple of things. Okay, cool. But what happens after that? How do I get a job, right? How do I make money out of this shit? They don't teach you that. That's what we do. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do at CodingPhase. So again, those are all strategies that you learn, and you get to learn to implement into any type of product or any type of thing that's out there. Is nothing crazy. Every single one of you guys can do it. Like, once you understand how the internet works, how marketing works, how the psyche of a user works, then from there you can make anything successful. You get what I'm saying? That's why I'm focusing so much with Shopify, because I have years and years of experience. I have 8 years as a developer, right? Creating applications and products for other people. Then from there, I've also been doing it on my own and have had success with niche websites. Then I basically took everything I learned from niche websites. I went and implemented it into CodingPhase.com. We've had success with CodingPhase.com. Then everything that I learned from CodingPhase.com, I implemented it to DevOutlet.com, right? Which was a drop shipping website. And then everything, like literally everything that I did from the niche websites to CodingPhase.com to Dev Outlet, now I'm applying it to creating Shopify applications. But the good thing about Shopify applications is that you don't have to convince nobody. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to tell people like, hey man, this is what you should be doing. You know what I'm saying? Like when I come here, I do this for fun and to hang out with you guys. But at the same time, you know, when I tell you guys, hey guys, you guys should learn about Shopify, or hey guys, you guys should learn about React, or hey guys, you should learn about PHP or even WordPress or, you know, things like that. A lot of times I feel like I'm trying to convince you guys, right? Because some of you guys already come with this set mentality of like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And in reality, it's not. You know what I'm saying? So then it's like you're trying to tell somebody something that's good for them, and you're trying to convince them to go with something that's good for them. I don't know if that makes sense, right? Now, when you're dealing with businesses, it's a completely different, situation. So let's say, for example, when you create an application for a business, right? Most of the times, the business is looking for your solution. I'll give you an example. Let's say right now you create an application, how to create, you know, let's say an application that shows a free shipping bar, and you add about 10, 20 different icons to it, and you make maybe 10 different styles of how the shipping bar looks, right? That's an application. That's a simple application that every single one of you guys can make. Now, when you create this application, you don't have to go on YouTube. You don't have to put it on Twitter. You don't have to share it on Instagram. You don't have to tell people, hey guys, you should be using this free shipping bar because this is going to sell and it's going to help you sell your product, and this is going to help you sell or, get more conversions. You don't have to do that because the business owner is looking for that. You get what I'm saying? They're looking, hey, I want to put a free shipping bar. I want to find that, right? It's a big difference between when you're dealing with the general public than when you're dealing with businesses. You don't have to go out there out of your way to pretty much convince somebody of some shit that they should be doing. It's like right now, like when I come in here and we talk about learning how to code and learning, the things that you guys should be doing, like, a lot of times I feel like I'm trying to convince you guys. I'm like, fuck, why am I doing this? Like, it's like people should know this already. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times I'll be like, I don't need to convince nobody. I sometimes I get annoyed like with the questions that some people leave in my emails, and I'm like some dude send me an email and it's like, hey Joe, I don't know if I should learn how to code. I've been at my company because he's like, yo, for like 3 years, and I've only been making like $15 an hour. They never gave me a raise. They always give it to somebody else, and this and that. I'm thinking about going to college again, and I got 2 kids, and I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, why wouldn't you want to learn how to code? Why wouldn't you want to go try CodingPhase.com? Like, you're against the wall. This is what you're supposed to be doing. This is something that I shouldn't have to convince you of doing. This is something that out of your own brain, you should make that decision and say, should I go back to college, spend 4 years? I got 2 kids. That means I got to put my kids through this bullshit for the next 4 years. Should I go and continue staying at this job, right? Or should I just go to CodingPhase.com, learn how to code, get another job that's going to get me paid better in 3-4 months, right? And then from there, my career is going to continue to go up. That's something that is like, to me, is like, it's logical, right? It's logical. Like, you shouldn't need to get convinced for that. So at the end of the day, that's just how it is. You know what I mean? It's like right now, if you still haven't tried CodingPhase.com, you're doing a disservice to yourself. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm being honest. Like, the amount of people that have gotten jobs from CodingPhase.com is crazy. And the amount of people that now they're in the second year as developers and they're making passive income is crazy. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, on your first, second year, you could be making an extra 30, 40 grand that you could make on your own. Now, that income that's coming in is a small change, 30, 40 grand is small change. But if you consistently continue to do the same things and do the same strategies that I've been doing over all of these years, by the time you're like at 5 years, 8 years, you're gonna be making, $10,000, $20,000 a month. That's where I'm at right now. You get what I'm saying? Like that's why I try to teach you guys here. Like it's like I'm trying to flip a little chip that you have in your head and show you guys that you can learn how to code, you can get a job, but then after you get a job, you need to have a plan for a long-term plan where you can make income on your own so you can have that freedom. You know where I'm at. You know what I mean? Like, what I'll tell you guys, like, where I'm at. You get what I'm saying? Like, I can only show you guys where I'm at, right? And this is the strategies that has worked for me. Like, I'm not a millionaire. I'm not a dude that, is like, hey guys, we're making a trip on a private jet. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? We're not doing that. But what I can tell you, I have that freedom to work from home. I have that freedom to make my own income. I have the freedom to decide what days I want to work. I have the freedom from what times I want to work, right? And if I want to take a vacation or not, I'll take it whenever the hell I want. You know what I'm saying? If you don't see a value to that, I don't know what I can tell you guys. You get what I'm saying? Like, you want to do this shit. You know what I mean? Like, and there's a lot of people that I'll tell you like this. I'm not gonna sell you a dream and be like, man, every single person makes it, because they don't. If you have the mentality of what I call a nail, you're always gonna be a nail, right? What does that mean? If you're not a go-getter, if you're not somebody who says, you know what, I know how to code and I want more for myself, and I know how to build things for other people, and if I could do it for other people, why I can't do it for me, right? If you don't think like that, then yeah, you're a nail. You are, and it's fine to be a nail, because hammers need nails to be freaking useful, right? A hammer is not a hammer if a nail is not a nail, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? And it's not something that we're looking down on anybody. It's just, if you just want to work for somebody, you could always work for somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the good thing about learning how to code and the things that we do here at CodingPhase.com. If you say, you know what, I'm just lazy, I'm like, I just want to do my 9 to 5, come home, relax, maybe light up a blunt, or hang out with my friends, or drink, smoke, whatever, hang out with your girlfriend. Maybe you want to just hang out with your kids. You don't want to spend no extra time to do some extra work. You're fine, because you're still in a career that you're gonna make, at a maximum $120,000, right? So you're still in a good career. But for those of you guys that have ever been at a job like you, I'm talking to the people that's like me right now, right? So have you ever been at a job and you do everything that they ask from you? That you show up early, you go in there and you give your ideas, right? And at the end of the day, you still making the same bread, the same money that you came in. Nobody gave you a freaking promotion. Nobody saw your talent. Nobody saw that, that your ideas were valuable. You ever been in a company where they're making every wrong decision in the world, but they don't listen to your opinions? You're like, yo, if I was the boss, I would do it like this. Or if you go to your manager and tell, hey, maybe we should do it like this, and they're like, listen, let me do my job. That's what they'll say to you. Like, oh, let me do my job. I know what I'm doing. But they're always making the same mistakes. Cool. If you're like that type of person, you're born to be a hammer. You need to go out there and go the extra mile so you can make shit happen and you can become your own boss and make your own bread. Okay? You're not born to let somebody else tell you what to do, right? Because that's the thing. Being somebody who, what I call the nail is somebody that has a very good position in this world, because we need nails. We need people to be able to do their job. And being a nail is great because you go to your job, you got job security, 9 to 5, right? You get paid every Friday or every 2 weeks on Friday, right? You're fine. You could live your comfortable life of like maybe hanging out or doing whatever you want. But for people like myself, I'm a hammer. I need to do my own shit. Like if I work hard at a company, I expect and I demand that I get paid as much as, as much as I should from the work that I've done. If they're not giving me that, and most companies are not gonna give you that, they're not just gonna give you a promotion, they're not just gonna give you an extra $20,000 bonus because you did a great job. Nah, they're gonna be like, well, you're on salary, kiddo. And when you realize that shit, you were like, damn, I'm always just gonna be on salary and this is my cap. Somebody else dictates my cap, right? Of how much I can make in a year because they're the one paying me. You realize I need to go out of my way to become my own boss. So when I work hard, if I say I want to work 16 hours a day today, I should get paid for doing 16 hours a day work. And whatever type of, any benefits that come out of those 16 hours, I need to keep it to myself. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes you a hammer, and that's what makes you a nail. A nail just goes into work and just is comfortable with what they have. A hammer is never comfortable. If you're never comfortable with what you have, you're like, man, I need more because I work hard. And I love to code. I love to do what I do, but I'm gonna work hard. And if I'm gonna work hard, I should be getting a bigger cut than what I'm getting. When you hit that road, when you hit that freaking bump, you hit that wall, you're gonna be like, okay, now I understand what Joe was talking about. Yeah, I'm just reading through this thing. Shout out to everybody in here. What's good, Omar? Let me see. Ram say, Joe, please stop forcing people to be entrepreneur because that's just increasing our competition. Nah, I don't think there's no competition when it comes to, if you want to become an entrepreneur or anything. There's no competition in that because, to be honest with you, having more competition as entrepreneurs or what I call the hammers, like, is actually good because it pushes you to a higher level, right? It pushes you to a higher level. Again, I'm not saying either way is the right way or the wrong way. It's just for me, that's why I want more. Like, I'm not satisfied with just a 9 to 5. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not satisfied with just a 9 to 5. And that's why I try to give to you guys, like, the things that have worked for me, and I share with you guys the things that has worked for me because I know that every single one of you guys can do. Like, I'm not nothing special. I'm just a regular dude. So if I can do it, every single one of you guys can do it. And like I was saying, to get a job, some of you guys might say, oh, it's difficult. And it's not. Getting a job is just about having the right skills that's in demand and actually demonstrating that you have those skills with the right projects, right? Like, I give you an example. If two guys go to an e-commerce website or an e-commerce company um, with the same skills, right? But one of them has an actual e-commerce website on their portfolio, who do you think is going to get hired? Again, this is an interactive live stream. I want you guys to tell me here in the live chat. Who do you think gets hired? Two guys show up with the same skills, right? Same things, everything exactly the same, right? They're at the same level. One shows up with a couple of cool projects. Another one shows up with a couple of cool projects, but he has an e-commerce website. You get what I'm saying? Who do you think is hired? Who do you think is gonna get that opportunity? You know what I mean? Like, that's just how it is. It's gonna be the guy that has the e-commerce website, right? Sometimes people show up to job interviews and don't even look up the companies. Okay? So then they wonder, oh wow, how I didn't get the job. Simple. You're not bringing value to that company. There's a million guys that can do the same shit that you can do. You gotta always remember this. Anybody can code. This is not the world of like the nerds and the dweebs that back in the days in the 80s and the 90s, they thought only us could code and this and that. Like, nah, stupid. Everybody can code. If you have half a brain, you can code, right? This is not about what school you went to. This is not about, what degree you have. Nah, those dweebs, they trying to put those limits. When you go to a company and they're asking you about, hey, do you have a degree? It's a dweeb up there that's trying to put that limit. He's like, well, we're the cool kids here, and we want to make sure that everybody has a degree here because he has a degree. He got caught in that school system. Not because you don't have the talent, not because you're not qualified. It's very simple. It's because he wants to implement that shit into the company. They try to cut out the regular folks like you and me out of the game, and they can't because anybody can code. Anybody can come in here and do the same shit that they're doing. This is math. Like, programming is math. Everybody can do math. Like, programming is, and not even like crazy math, especially web development. We're talking about elementary math. Do you know how to add? Do you know how to do freaking plus and minuses? That's how much of how you call this shit, like, mental power that you need to do this. Do you know how to do freaking, what is it, PEMDAS, what was the thing? Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, some shit like that, right? That's it. If you understand that, you can code. Some of these dweebs, they make it seem like this shit is so difficult. It's not. This shit is not that hard, right? Now, if you want to be building game engines and you want to be building, robots, then that's a higher level. That's a thing that you want to go in there and you want to educate yourself to a higher level. But for 95% of the jobs that's out here, you don't need to be the guy that got a PhD in math and science at all. And that's where people be coming in and be trying to bullshit you guys, right? And that's what the world try to tell you, But again, most people that don't get a job is because they're not showing value. You see people that go to, and like, let's say they'll apply to 500 different job posts on LinkedIn, right? Not LinkedIn or even Indeed.com, etc., whatever platform they want to use. They go in and apply to all of them. Now, they do no research on what is it that those companies do. They just say, oh, front-end developer, let me apply. Front-end developer, let me apply. Front-end developer, let me apply, right? Let me give you guys a little quick strategy, right? Let's say, for example, instead of applying to job titles, you apply to industries, okay? Instead of applying to job titles, you apply to industries. Because this is another way that you can win easily. So let's say, for example, you apply to all e-commerce type websites or e-commerce companies as a front-end developer, and then you cater your portfolio to an e-commerce industry. You get what I'm saying? So then now, when they look at the things that you have, they'll see this is valuable. Because just like how I was telling you, people go in and apply to 500 jobs and do no research on what the company does, what the company needs, right? There's times that people are just applying just to apply. They go to the interview and don't even look up, hey, this is what you guys have on your website. I see with Wappalizer that you guys have been using this type of framework. You guys are using this, and that. This is what I can do for you guys. So when you go to those job interviews, you're going in there with value. That's what differentiates yourself from everybody else. Do you have a good portfolio? Do you have projects that are related to the business that we have? Is it going to be something that, you're doing projects that are similar to what we're doing here at the company, right? Or do you have any type of experience with the industry that we're in, right? Those are the things that make you stand out. When I went into job interviews, like the owners and the people always come out like impressed. They think like I'm like some tintin. You know what I'm saying? Like, I go into job interviews and, well, when I used to, I haven't been in a job interview in over 3 years, but over 4, we could say 3 years. What was it? 2016. Last time I went to like a job interview. 4 years. So, we could say when I was going in there, like, people come out impressed because I go in there prepared. Not only do I have projects that's catered to them, I even cater my resumes. Like my resumes are not just I'm building a resume. Like here's the same resume for everybody. I don't do that. When I go into a specific industry, like let's say I have a lot of experience with e-commerce and digital agencies and like what we call like visual development, like animations and things like that. I have a lot of experience with that, right? So depending on the company that I'm going to, I cater it, right? So I have multiple resumes. One that I know is like, okay, this is for e-commerce. One that I know is for a digital agency, and one that I know that is just like a general company. Like it could be anything. So I just send them that. If it doesn't fit into that mold of either a digital agency or an e-commerce business, I send them the generic one. Okay. Same thing with your portfolio. If you say, you know what, this is the type of company I want to get into right now, cater your portfolio to them. Customize it so it could be for them. Instead of you having it of like just an overall portfolio, right? Now, of course, this is shit that you learn with time. Like when I first got into the game, I was probably just doing the same shit that you guys were doing. But even like back then, like this how crazy I was with my thing. I will send an email, HTML email, like literally, like I was saying, the HTML email before it wasn't like when I first started getting into jobs, they didn't have like all the things that they have now. Like LinkedIn, you could have like automatic sent of like things that's already pre-filled. Like you could pre-fill your information on LinkedIn, and you could go to Indeed.com and it will pre-fill it for you for the job application. Back then, you will have an email for the company, right? And you will send them an email directly. I went out of my way to create a customized HTML email where it looked like a resume. It looked like with nice colors. It looked legit, like something that when they saw it, it will make them pop out. Like it will be like, oh, nobody's sending this type of thing because what they're sending is just regular text and a freaking Microsoft Word document, right? Like that's what people were saying, a docx document, right? Now you gotta make yourself stand out. You gotta go the extra mile. You know what I'm saying? Cater to the industry, right? It's so easy to get a job. Like it's so easy. Like you don't even have to do much, bro. Like straight up. Like you don't have to do much, but you have to show that you're not like everybody else. That's what's gonna make people be like, damn, this guy's doing this. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, he's on this level. Like, I look professional before I even had a job. I look like my website looked professional before I even had a job. Like, nobody had the things that I had in there. Like back then, well, you guys be thinking like, oh, everything's responsive now. Back then, shit wasn't even responsive yet. Like, 2011, people wasn't even doing media queries. You would go to websites and instead of doing everything responsive, what they would do is they will redirect you to a subdomain with a M. It will say m.twitter.com, which will be like a mobile version of the website. They wasn't even using, you know, media queries. Like I was like ahead of the game. I always been. When people come in and be like, damn, Joe's always coming up with some new shit, always coming up with something. I've always been ahead of the game. Like I know what's coming and what I need to focus on to be able to stand out in this sea of developers. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm trying to teach you guys. I'm trying to get you guys up to this level because all of this comes with experience and mistakes that I've made. You know what I'm saying? Like, why should you make the same mistakes that I already did years ago? You know what I'm saying? Let me see. I'm reading. Da da da. KM, true. I'm reading. Yeah, there's a bunch of dudes at 15 years working for NASA. I made an e-commerce project in Django. I want to sell that project. I'm 15 and I'm in school. What to do? I mean, it's up to it's up to you. If it's something that's valuable, put it out there. Let people know what you have. But I'll be honest, trying to sell something to a company is difficult because you need connections. You know, I can't just show up to Shopify, the company, and to the CEO and be like, hey, I got something for you guys. You don't get those type of meetings. You get what I'm saying? Like, you don't get those type of meetings with people. Like, I know you're 15 years old, but, I'm glad that you're doing your thing, but it's hard for you to just go into this big companies and be like, hey, I got something great for you guys. It's like, nah, you got to make waves on your own. And then those waves got to get to them. Like, look at the guys that created Snapchat, right? Snapchat, to me, it's not a cool application, but some people like it, right? But what they did at Snapchat, right, the creator of it, he made waves. By the time it got to guys like Mark Zuckerberg's ears, they already had like 1 million users, right? They already had people going in there. They already had all the teenagers going into the application. So by the time it gets to them, now they already know who you are, what your product is, what do you do. You know what I'm saying? How it's beneficial for them, and then they'll reach out to you. Like, hey man, we would love to have a meeting with you. Now you could do it like that, or if you have connections, which is something that people don't even talk about. A lot of these people have connections. So, like, let's say, for example, let's say your uncle went to college with a guy who now is a VC at a company in San Francisco. Then he says, "Hey man, hit him up on LinkedIn. He's like, hey man, you remember me? It's Little Sean. How you doing, Little Billy?" And he's like, "Hey man, I'm doing great. I got a nephew who is a genius, very smart kid. I would love for you to just check out his product, see what you think." And the guy, out of the love that he has for his friend, his college roommate, right? He'll go in and listen to the little kid, right? Now, when that happens, if your product is good, that guy is gonna go back to their company and say, you know what? My friend Lil Billy just showed me something good. His son, his nephew, got something great going on. Let's put a little bit more attention into it. Let's see if we can fund that. Then they come back to you. They'll tell you, hey man, you have a great thing, da da da. We will give you $500,000 for 50% of your company. If you ever look at what's the name of that show? Not Loan Shark, Shark Tank. Loan Shark, Shark Tank, Shark Tank. Fucking, they should have called it loan sharks, because those guys, that's what they do. They're like loan sharks. Shark Tank, they'll go and give you some money, but they'll take mad percentage of your company. When they see value, they'll try to take advantage of you. And that's just how it is. That's part of the game, Now, if you have something really great, like I said from the beginning, what you want to do is you got to put it out there. Start getting people to pay for it. If you have an e-commerce website that people can use, get people to sign up for it and start paying you to use your service. Once you start getting people to pay you, let's say you got 10,000 users that are paying $100 a month or $30 a month, like Shopify. If your platform is good, somebody's gonna knock on the door and say, "Hey, little 15-year-old, we want in." That's just how it is. Put it out there. They'll come to you. That's the same thing. Company. We think Joe's a dunter. For real, bro. Sometimes these companies, they'll go in and they'll think like you don't know nothing. And because this is the thing, like a lot of the developers, they go into companies and all they know is how to code. Like one thing that I don't like to talk shit about nobody else on YouTube here, but all the YouTube channels that's here, like that's doing development and teaching people how to code or programming, etc., all they know is how to code. They don't know how to make money on their own. They've never built freaking startups. They've never built companies on their own. Very, 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 very few people in here have actually made money without a job paying them. You get what I'm saying? So there's very, very few people. And there's people that they've worked for 6 months and got YouTube channels and are super popular, and they'll give you advice like what you gotta do and this and that. It's like, bro, you worked for like 6 months in your life as a developer. How you giving advice? How you giving opinion? How you quote unquote helping people out? You don't have enough experience. But this is what you will find here on YouTube. Now, same thing for like companies. When I go into companies interviews, they think I'm just a regular developer. I'm like, nah, my dude, I've done a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's like right now, it's like if I decide I want to go work for somebody else, another company, they're gonna have to hit me with a bag. And if they don't hit me with a bag, they're gonna have to give me with a very high position, because I'm not gonna go into a company by me just working for them when I can make more money outside. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing. When you go to these interviews, they know. That's why some companies, they try to lowball you. And I always tell you guys, don't put your information of like your previous jobs. Don't put that. You put in the projects that you have. That's it. Because if they say, okay, Lil Billy came in, junior developer, never worked anywhere. He has the talent. He got good projects, but his last job was a janitor. How much the janitor make? $24. Give him 25. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, they'll hit you with that shit. They'll be like, hey man, he makes 24. Throw him a bone. Give him 25 now. That's how much he makes. 25 an hour. They'll do that shit to you, right? But when you already have enough for yourself, and you could say, you know what, this is what I've been making with my own, on my own, with my own company. This is what I'm accustomed to. They can't give you anything less if they really want you. So it's the same thing for you guys. If you can show the value that you already have, then sky's the limit. You know what I mean? Like, they can't lowball you on a job offer, and they won't play you. When I used to go to these companies, they would be like, we'll say, oh, a little Spanish kid coming in, let's see what he got. Then they see the projects. Then they see the shit that I work for. Then they see the companies that I've worked for before, I've done contracts with. Then at the same time, they see the type of mentality that I have. I know about marketing. I know about design. I know about all of the things that can be valuable to your company. When I come in, I'm not coming in as a code monkey. I'm not coming in just to build little applications. I'm going to be a super value to the company, because I could give you guys ideas. I could help you guys figure out where you guys are doing wrong. I could help you guys, tell you guys a good opinion about design. Like, that's what I was going to school for. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not just a regular developer. I come with a whole bunch of shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you want to do too. Like right now, some of you guys that are here on this live stream, most of the companies that's going to hire you initially are going to be e-commerce companies, right? So if you look online, there's so many companies that sell product online, right? So that's called e-commerce, right? So if you go in and you show up without knowing the process of how an e-commerce company works, how they make money, how they have landing pages, what's the goal, how do they have higher conversion rates, how do you do all of these things, then you're pretty much playing in the same play field as everybody else. Every other guy that's a regular developer that all he knows how to do is say function, add, argument A, B, and then return A plus B. That's it. That's all he can do. If that's all you can do, there's a million guys like you out there. Show that you are going the extra mile, showing that that's what you want to do. This is what you care about this industry. You know what I'm saying? You go in there, show up with a Shopify theme, show up with a Shopify app, display the things that you have done, show that you have made applications and you have it on the Shopify store right now. When they go in there and they see like, oh shit, he got 200 reviews, it shows that you're already making money before you even go to that company. It shows that there's value in you. They're getting somebody that's knowledgeable. If you're showing up with just like, I just showed up here. Here's my resume. I got Cold Steel's free code camp. I got who else? I got Stephen Grider's React course, and I did 2 months at CodingPhase.com, and I don't have nothing else. Like, nah, bro, you gotta go the extra mile, man. That's what's gonna make you stand out and gonna make you become successful. But again, that's if you want to listen to me. I mean, what do I know? You know what I mean? Think I'm gonna be telling you this shit. Exactly. Remember what I was saying before? Like sometimes I feel like I'm trying to convince you guys for some shit that you're supposed to be knowing and some shit that you're supposed to be doing. That's exactly how I feel right now. I'm trying to tell you guys about why you should go and focus on Shopify, focus on e-commerce, focus on making money online, focus on learning how to code through CodingPhase, right? I'm trying to convince you when I don't need to be convincing nobody. Like, you should know this shit by now, you know? Again, today we have that special Labor Day 2020. I'm probably gonna do a little barbecue here in the crib. Gonna get in the pool, relax with the kids. You know, they're already acting antsy. You know, let me see. Joe, please share some thoughts on Chromebooks. I have a Chromebook, but I feel like you could do a lot of stuff with it, but I don't think that it's worth it. Like if you could, because even I spent like 700. How much I spent? Like 700, $800 for the Google Chromebook, and to be honest with you, I was like, I'm like, you could get a computer and get a Linux installed in that shit, and it's gonna be better than even a Chromebook. Bro, your Shopify stuff is KM's like, bro, your Shopify stuff is expensive. Nah, man, it's a yearly plus, bro. Get the yearly plus, you get access to all of that. Okay? This is the thing too. Like, I feel like if you're still at the stage where, if $178 is gonna hurt you, then you shouldn't be taking Shopify bundle, right? You shouldn't, right? What you need to be doing is trying to get a job, right? So try to get a job that can help you, see that $178 is not that much. Now, once you get your job as a front-end developer, right, you want to go back and try to get that Shopify bundle either from me, or you want to go and try to learn it on your own, or however you want to do it, right? Because it's very valuable, like, trust me, man. Like, if I was to like really break it down to you guys, like, it's like this: the courses that I have, I basically sell it to you guys at crackhead prices. Okay, at crackhead prices. Okay, like, for example, when you buy a Shopify bundle comes in with like 14 courses, right? 10 to 14 courses, right? Divide 100 and what is it? No, it's 250 divided by 14. You do the math. How much you're paying for each course? You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not coming in and be like, yo, I'm selling you some shit mad expensive. Nah, you're getting 14 courses. You don't want or you don't need all of the courses? Fine. Just get both of the Shopify courses that you need. Just that. Somebody do the math. Divide that shit. 250 divided by 14. Right? Somebody do the math. I don't want to pull out the calculator right now. $17.85 per course. That's crackhead prices, bro. Trust me. Like, the shit that you're paying here is not much. You get what I'm saying? At all. Now, if you already know how to code, you already got a job, you already know everything that's out here, right? Pretty much all you have to do is just buy one individual course that you need, whatever it is, right? I'll try to do it like this, where I just bundle everything up for people. For those of you guys that be like, man, I don't know this, I don't know this, I don't know this, I don't know this. So I just come in and give you all the prerequisites plus the main courses. It's that simple, And at the same time, you know, like myself, like when I first started learning how to code, and even before that, like right before that, like I was getting into affiliate marketing, learning how to sell products online and things like that. Bro, my first course was $700, and I didn't even have a job. I put that shit on a credit card. Now, I don't recommend anybody to do that ever, because if you don't have $700 in your bank account, you shouldn't be putting that shit on a credit card, right? But the reason why I did it was because I knew the type of value that I was gonna get out of it. I didn't know how to make money online. I didn't know how affiliate marketing worked, how to make money with Google AdSense and things like that. Now, I come in, fast forward, like 9 years later, come in, create a course called the Six Figure Bundle, right? Give you all of that knowledge plus everything that I've learned in the last 8, 9 years, and give you shit that's relevant to now. And I sell it for how much? Like $200 with a 50% off. That's $100 plus all the courses that are prerequisites in there. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to get nobody here, bro. You get what I'm saying? Came was like, yo, I spent $15,000 plus. I mean, you haven't spent $15,000 with me, that's for sure. Nobody has ever spent more than $700 ever on CodingPhase.com, and that's because they've bought like different bundles. And that's another thing too. I'm like, yo, if you're gonna spend $700 buying individual bundles, you should just buy the freaking lifetime. The lifetime, even like right now, I think the lifetime membership gives you access to every single thing that's out there. You could get every single piece that you could think of, and every course that's in there. At, I don't know, it's $1,500 for the lifetime. I don't know, do the math. 1,500. Somebody do the math for me, because I ain't got no calculator on me. 1,500 times 0.55. No, times 0.45. That's how much you pay. So $1,500 times 0.45. So right now, Labor Day, 55% off. Right? So it's 0.45. 675. So 675, you get access to all the courses, everything that is ever gonna drop on CodingPhase.com. Right? Again, like sometimes people gotta do the math and like see how they should do it, But some people, what they think is like, it's like somebody also too who goes saying, I've seen people that go into CodingPhase.com, and instead of signing up for a yearly subscription, they'll be like, nah, I don't want to be tied down to a subscription. And then they'll go and buy the bundles every single year. And I'm like, bro, you're wasting more money than just signing up for the subscription. You get what I'm saying? Like, I try to make this shit as simple as possible. I even have it right now where literally I believe the Node.js, Shopify Node.js courses, right? And I think even the Shopify bundle, you could do a payment plan. So imagine this. You do a payment plan on it. So let's say is the whole bundle is 500, but minus the 45, right? So like let's say, was it 45? Yeah. So somebody do 500 times 0.45. Do the math for me. We're gonna break it down right here. So you go. This is how you know I don't give a fuck. I'm just trying to help people out. I'm breaking it down, right? 500 times 0.45. Somebody do the math. KM, nah, it's fine. I'm just breaking it down for other people. If you're tapped out, you're like, yeah, monthly, that's all I can do. That's fine, because the monthly is what you need to get a job. You know what I mean? So that's fine. So let's say 225. Look at that, 225. So 500 times 0.45 gives you 225. Now divide that by 5, right? So divide that shit, that 225, divide that shit by 5. $225 divided by 5. Somebody do the math. You get what I'm saying? Like, You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just trying to get people in it, and and just fucking do the work. That's it. Cause $45. So it's $45 a month. That's it. For 5 months, and you get the whole Shopify bundle. Now, of course, I don't even care about any of this shit. I just want you guys to get into the game and learn, right? I don't care how much it is that you want to pay, whatever it is, right? What I care about is that you guys do the work. Now, at the end of the day, if you guys follow what I'm telling you guys, you're gonna get what you want, which is your job. With the monthly subscription, you could easily get a job. There's over 50 courses in there that you could get a job with. Now, you can always upgrade, right? This coupon codes is really for the people that have been here for a while and they're like, you know what? Fuck it, let me upgrade. I've been here for a year. I really like what I'm getting. Let me upgrade to a yearly plus. Or, you know what? I'm right now, I don't want to sign up to a subscription, but I'll buy the bundle, right? Like, that's why I do this sales. I try to just make it affordable for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's on different points in their lives. Somebody might say, you know what? Right now, I don't even got a job. I'm lucky enough to be doing the free courses. You know what I mean? Like, Cam was like, yeah, if I know about CodingPhase.com before bootcamp, I will still have a savings account. Yeah, I mean, that's what I kind of been telling people. When people come in here, uh, Girling, man, Girling, I don't want to call out nobody, man. You guys going out? We never agreed if we was gonna go out. Oh, all right. But yeah, so like I was saying, man, I don't want to be calling out nobody. That's for you guys to want to do. I don't want to call. Okay. Yeah, so that's up to you guys. You know what I mean? Like, for me, I'm focused on me, man. I'm focused on helping people out, and it's like right now, you know, again, I use my life as motivation. There's a lot of people that sell dreams. There's people that be like, hey man, I remember, I'm not pointing no names out, but you guys should know. I remember when people would be like, hey man, I could get you $100 an hour freelancing. That was bullshit. Guys that's been here 10 years don't get $100 an hour, right? That's bullshit, right? People come in and be like, hey man, I'm gonna sell you one great course of Python. Nothing else beyond just the Python. Like, hey man, here's how you do a couple of algorithms, here's how you do a couple of little things. $500 for that. That sounds crazy, right? Now it's like, hey man, you're gonna learn with JavaScript and Firebase and this and that. I'm like, bro, I don't know who's out here hiring with Firebase. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that, like those cloud shits, they're good for the individual developer who wants to try something out, launch it real quick. The bigger companies, they're not using those cloud freaking systems. They're literally using MySQL or what we call MySQL, MongoDB. That's what they're using. MariaDB, CouchDB. That's what they're using. They're not going into those freaking, those plug and play things. You know what I'm saying? But God bless them. That's all I can say. You know what I mean? With a timer on it. Like, yo, there's a timer. This shit about to run out. It's never going to run out. It's a course. You know what I mean? Like, dudes be like, yo, there's a timer on it. This shit's about to run out. It's like, nah, bro. It's not going to run out. You're going to do the same advertisement next week. Like, you know? Let me see what Rand says. Yo, I'm implementing an app idea and building a front end. Can we build an entire backend using Firebase, or I have to create it from scratch using PHP? It's like Telegram, Twist. You can do however you want, man. But I don't see, nobody gets impressed by that shit. Like when you go in there and be like, hey man, if you are just strictly a front end guy and you focus mostly on the front end and you want to create an application but don't know shit about the back end, yeah, you could go ahead and create like a Firebase application and this and that. But the average company wants you to know the full stack, know how to do things with, with everything, the whole process of like, okay, you got HTML, CSS, JavaScript, then some maybe React, then from there, some other type of, database language and, programming language for the backend, PHP, Node.js, right? Of course, Node.js is just JavaScript, but you get what I'm saying. Now, I would rather you just go and create shit yourself than using Firebase than doing it like that, because it's gonna be something that you can impress somebody. You don't impress nobody when you say, hey man, I just connected this. That's like right now, if I go in and I say, I created a learning management system, right? Which is a LMS, which is a way to have like a whole bunch of courses, or like let's say like CodingPhase.com, right? But instead of me setting up the server, setting up how to upload the videos, how to do all this shit, what I do in my application is I say, hey man, upload it through YouTube and post it here. Nobody's gonna be impressed by that, right? That's like I'm creating a YouTube. I'm gonna create a YouTube competition website, right? A YouTube alternative. But what I'm doing is I'm using the platform of YouTube to upload the videos and then display it on my website. You know what I'm saying? Like, that don't make no sense, man. That don't make no sense for a company, because the company is gonna want you to go and build things on your own. They don't want you to go and they don't want to be using Cloudflare, not Cloudflare. What is it, Firebase and shit like that. Like, I've never seen people use that shit in real life, like straight up. I've only seen it on tutorials. I've never seen it in real life, like real companies. I've never even seen people that have startups that's using that shit. That's just an easy thing to teach, and it's an easier way for people to just like learn and create something and it look like they created something good quickly. But I've never seen nobody get hired with that shit. That's just my opinion, okay? Let me see. Yeah, man. So anyways, shout out to Pardeep. Pardeep is in the building. Cam, you need to market for these people before they sign up for a web dev bootcamp. Listen, man, that's what I was doing years ago, man. Go look up my videos on Bootcamp. Search CodingPhase Bootcamp, and you will see. I don't believe that there's a good bootcamp out there at all. For the price that for like web development, like if somebody comes in and tells me, hey man, you're gonna pay $15,000 to learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, Node.js, GraphQL, and MongoDB, right? If somebody tells me that shit, I'm gonna laugh in their face, because you don't need to spend that much money on a course for that, right? At all. Like, that's simple to learn. Now, if like let's say the guys from Coder Foundry, right? I've always been like, yo, I'm not into boot camps, and I always said it. But I think like if I'm gonna pay for like a boot camp, it will be for something more corporate. Like, let's say if there was like a boot camp that prepared you for like Salesforce, or a boot camp that prepared you for like .NET, like the people at Coder Foundry, right? I'm not sponsored by them. I have no connections to them, right? But what they do is they teach .NET, and they teach like things that is at the enterprise level. You know what I'm saying? That will make more sense to go to a bootcamp for than to just go in there and be like, hey, I'm just gonna learn Ruby on Rails, or hey, I'm just gonna learn Node.js. Like, it doesn't make sense to be paying that much money. I've been saying that shit for years. Shout out to Beat of Ike if you got the lifetime. Yeah, man, trust me, it's gonna be worth it. There's a lot of shit that we're gonna be creating. And CodingPhase.com is not just courses about programming, as you guys have seen with time, but there's a lot of things that I'm doing, like the Shopify apps, right? I'm doing this shit myself. I'm teaching it to you guys, but at the same time, I'm switching my whole business to that. You know how most of my income comes from niche websites? I'm trying to sell most of my niche websites, and I'm literally switching over all of my basically my income and my freaking my time strictly to Shopify apps, because there's a bigger opportunity and a bigger pay there. Like, you know, for me, the highest I made with niche websites is like 18,000. I think I had 1 month that was like 21,000, and that was good. That was good, right? But that's the ceiling. That's the ceiling. You get what I'm saying? That's the ceiling that I haven't been able to break. Now with Shopify apps, because you're no longer needing to create something that goes to millions and millions of people, right? You're just targeting 1,000 users. 1,000 users, right? Like, let's say, for example, you get 1,000 users on Shopify, right? And you say, okay, I got 1,000 users, or even less than that, 10,000 users, 10,000 users at $10 a pop. 10,000 users at $10 a pop. That right there is $1 million. That's something that I will never be able to make with a niche website and the type of niche websites that I have. Like, I'm always gonna be, my ceiling is gonna be like 200, 300,000, around there, right? I'm doing a smart investment to switching over to Shopify apps, but and also to the Shopify themes, because there's a bigger ceiling. Like, the ceiling for Shopify apps is like at $5 million, $5 million to $3 million. That's a good ceiling to hit. You get what I'm saying? That's a very good ceiling to hit. So that's what I'm doing. I'm switching over. I'm switching from the ceiling where I'm at. I already hit the top of like how much my type of websites can make on each website, right? To going to another platform and another opportunity where I could continue to grow and actually use the skills that I have. Because when you do niche websites, it's almost like automatic, right? Because it's like blogs or even websites that you created that are like CSS generators and shit like that. But when you go into Shopify apps, it's like you're really creating an application, a web application that's connecting to Shopify, and then from there, Shopify promotes your application on their app store, and you're just bringing in. Like, my goal is just to have 20 applications with 1,000 users. That's it. And understand that. Look, in CodingPhase.com, in over 3 years, we've had over 65,000 people that have signed up, right? Now, if I do the same thing, right, and even what I've done with my niche websites, where I've literally went into, you know, the niche website, I've had websites that had 1 million users in 1 year, unique users, right? I've had websites that had, you know, 500,000 unique visitors in 1 month, right? So those are websites that's bringing in a lot of traffic, and I only made a certain amount of it, right? Now, imagine what I can do on the Shopify platform with everything that I learned from all of these different places and implementing it to my business as a Shopify, you know, digital agency, right? And doing it like that, sky's the limit, kiddo. You know what I'm saying? Like, all you need is 1,000 users. 1,000 users at $10 a pop. You do the math. How much is that? That's $10,000 a month, right? Now, do the math. That's $120,000 a year. And if they continue being members of your subscription for your application, that doubles up the next year. then now you're looking at 240,000 a year. Now imagine you have 20 of those applications. You do the math for that. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's the type of game that I'm getting into. So yeah, right now when I talk about all this stuff, y'all seeing the early stages. I already had success with, things like getting a job as a developer. I already had success with doing niche websites, creating side income for myself. I already had success with YouTube. I already had success with, CodingPhase.com, creating my own online learning platform, right? Now it's another stage. Now this is software as a service. So as I become more successful in that field, I come back and teach it to you guys. So if you're a lifetime member, everything that I'm doing, I'm teaching it right back on CodingPhase.com. You get what I'm saying? Like, everything that I learn, I just come back and I put it right here. It's another bundle. Hey man, the marketing, Shopify apps marketing course, this and that. Like, all of that shit is added to whatever has to do with Shopify. So it's like when you buy something, you're getting really a really good value. It's like the same people that came in. There's people that came in 2017. I had a lifetime membership. Lifetime membership was $150 in 2017. I had the monthly subscription at $5, and I only had about like 5 courses in there. But people believed in me. Until this day, they're still getting those benefits. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why I do this thing. Like, I'm not going nowhere. CodingPhase is not going nowhere. Like, straight up. Like, you're just gonna see me stacking up. Once I learn even more about the real estate game, I'm gonna teach it right back to you guys too. And it's not like somebody's like, damn, so Joe just gonna fucking continue making courses for the rest of his fucking life. It's like, nah. I want to share the knowledge of everything that I've been able to do as a developer. That's why the website is called CodingPhase. It starts with coding, and then everything else that we continue to grow with is the next phase. Okay? So I'm just sharing it to you guys and to whoever wants to learn it. You know what I mean? Nobody else does this shit. You know what I mean? Like, you don't go to, there's not a doctor or a lawyer on the internet right now that has a platform where they teach everything that they know as their career continues to progress. Nobody has ever done this. You get what I'm saying? Nobody has ever done this. Like, there's people that have subscription, right? There's people that have online platforms, but nobody has ever done this where they're sharing their point of view and everything that has made them successful with other people. They don't do this shit, bro. I'm telling you guys from experience. Like, I know so many people that sell courses, and what people do is they teach you the thing that it's, how can I say this, that it's already done. Like, when people were making the drop shipping courses, and they're like, man, everybody's hopping drop shipping this and that. Bro, the reason why they jump into drop shipping courses is because those freaking that whole system was already fucking ransacked. Everybody has already taken advantage of the drop shipping system. By the time you start seeing like people teaching, how to do marketing with Facebook and become an entrepreneur, on Facebook, by that time that they're teaching it to you guys, that shit is fucking done. Like, straight up. Like, that shit is fucking done. That's like, those are industries that it doesn't make sense for somebody to tell you. It doesn't make sense to somebody to tell you how they're making money when in reality you're gonna be their competition. Always think about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, even like myself, everything that I teach you guys cannot be my competition, right? I don't teach you guys shit that makes you my competition, right? I teach you things that you can do on your own, separate from my shit, right? But a lot of the shit that people teach, they teach you once that shit has been burnt off. When people come in, I remember when, people were talking about ClickBank and this and that, making money in affiliate marketing. That's something that I learned a long time ago when I first signed up for my first course, right? $700. They're like, hey man, you gotta join ClickBank, you gotta join this and that. Bro, by the time they talked about ClickBank, that shit was fucking finito. Yeah, that shit was done. Bro, I got into ClickBank, and ClickBank was a fuck fest. There was like no good products. Nobody's making money in there unless you're huge. And it's the same thing like right now. Right now, I'm talking to you guys about Shopify. Nobody's in Shopify like that, bro. Go look up Shopify. Shopify has like 4,000, 5,000 apps. That's almost nothing compared to like the App Store or the iOS store. So that means that you have a huge advantage above everybody else. By the time all these clowns that you see here on YouTube, they start talking about Shopify. Hey guys, you guys want to learn about Shopify? You guys should make Shopify apps. By that time, that shit is done. You know what I'm saying? That shit is fucking done. There's only gonna be like 20 guys that already took the whole market. There's gonna be like 200 developers that's already averaging the 200,000. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's done by that time, bro. Like, hell yeah, bro. Like, that's how people fucking be doing it. Yeah, man. Let me see. Cam. Let me see. Yeah, you gotta go through. Go check out Shopify, Cam. You know, it is what it is, man. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna see you guys later. I'm about to get out of here. I'm gonna see what I'm gonna do. I want to get in the pool for a little bit. I'm freaking hot, as you guys can see. It's freaking hot in Florida. So I'm gonna get in the pool for a little bit, maybe with the kids. I don't know. They want to go outside, but it's like what time is this? 1:46. It's like we could go to the beach, but I don't know. It's not late already. All right, but anyways, man, I'm gonna see you guys later. All right, guys, take care. It's your boy Joe back at it again. Labor Day 2020. That's the coupon code if you guys want. If you don't want it, doesn't matter. But at the same time, you know, don't miss out this opportunity. 55% off. That's a lot. You're paying 45% of whatever the price is. Take advantage. I always tell people take advantage. I usually do this sales for the new people that's coming in, and for older folks that's been around for a while that want to upgrade. You know, that's it. It is what it is, man. I'm gonna see you guys later. It's your boy Joe back at it again. CodingPhase.com. Tomorrow we're gonna be dropping some new videos, so stay tuned for that.